It's 5 a.m. somewhere, so that means the garbage collectors are coming to take out the trash. But we won't throw you out.
Welcome to your Trash Pals podcast, coming to you live from the old swimming hole. We're here down by the water, splashing around. We got the muck, we got snapping turtles, snapping at our poor little exposed butt cheeks. We got fish nibbling our toes. It's a good time down at the old swimming hole. Where we record our podcast about comics, art, culture, and whatever little bits of trash we found while picking through the garbage bin. I'm Vannotes.
And I'm Wren. I don't want my butthole snapped. I'm just letting you and our listeners know there are some things that are unholy, and that is one of them.
Did I say hole or did I say cheeks?
I think you said cheeks, but my brain said hole. I don't know what to tell you.
One's worse than the other to have a snapping turtle come at you.
I don't know if this will get us demonetized, but immediately it made me think about those like fish that like swim up your urethra. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
You know, the urethra fish, that is common knowledge. I was like, I'm so glad that that's not in this watering hole, but all kinds of other curses are.
It could be. There could be bacteria. There could be leeches, which are my least favorite thing in a pond. Everything else I'm pretty okay with, but I can't do the leeches.
Like a couple years ago, my friend Roma made me go in a river with her and our friend Hanuman, and there were bugs and more bugs, and I fell and like scraped up my leg real bad, and they were like, and Hanuman's a doctor, and they were like, "You're fine. It's fine. There's nothing wrong with your leg." And then when we got out of the river and like went to go get ice cream, my leg was like bleeding profusely. I was like, "Yeah, see, I wasn't faking it. I'm not fine."
These doctors and their medical degrees.
It's true.
I would love if you revealed like that this person was like a doctor of philosophy, or like had a PhD but not an MED.
No, he's got real doctoring to do. Real doctoring.
Not a doctorate in educational leadership or whatever.
So funny. Not like a Dr. Silky Ganache, who has a doctorate in business something.
No, Silky Nut Ganache's master's degree, I think, is in business leader, or is like an MBA, but oops. Oh,
sorry, my hand came out of nowhere. It scared even me.
Oh.
I was just trying to plug in my charger, and then my own hand was really big.
Appeared before you.
Oh,
larger than you are.
Truly larger than life.
I don't think Silky's been conferred her doctorate, which the clock is ticking on how long you can be in that zone. I feel like before people are like, you gotta get rolling on that. Because isn't it like 7 to 10 years?
Yeah, I think like it depends on what doctorate you get. Because I was thinking about getting mine, and I was like, oh, that's like my whole 30s. It's too late for me. I can't do it. I can't spend like 10 years in academia. I've already spent so much time in academia. I can't do it anymore. And now I work in it, and I'm like, oh my God, it's too much.
She is currently pursuing her PhD.
Okay.
But that was as of who knows when this source is. Let's see. As of 2022, okay, she could still be pursuing. I
Yeah,
won't. I won't shade the good Reverend Doctor.
I will.
In that, I don't.
I, I don't like her. No
None
offense
of
to
us like.
her.
She's a Republican.
She's a
It's
Republican?
Oh, she's one of those registered Republicans, so she can vote and have her vote matter or whatever. Um, which
Hmm.
is what a lot of people do here too. If you're like even centrist leading, you'll register as a Republican so you can vote in the Republican primary. But it still sucks. It's
Yeah.
the optics are bad.
Yeah. Like, okay. Oh my goodness. Oh my
Okay,
goodness.
man.
Truly okay, man. Like, whatever. Good luck with that. Oh my
That is
goodness.
like, I guess diving into what trash are you consuming? I'm watching the rural gay emotion porn of We're Here, uh, which is not really trash. It's a very wonderfully produced show. I think it's delightful. Love all the queens, but it is just like crying porn. Like it's
Hmm.
just like the same thing porn is trying to do where it's wanting to get you horny. Like We're Here is designed to have you do that for tears. Um and on one of the episodes, I was texting Red because they brought on a black Republican Christian woman to talk about why drag was bad to the queens. And they were like, this sucks. Like you could tell they went into it and they were like, all right, productions lined this up for us. We are kind of interested. And then she started talking, and you could see their faces just be like, we don't want to be here.
That's so
This feels
funny.
bad.
Honestly, I can't imagine that going any other way. I can't imagine that being like a fruitful conversation for anybody involved.
Yeah. I don't know. I have many of those conversations every day. And it's kind of like watching it on TV. It's just like, yeah, that's no fun. That's no one has a good time. It's better to just like with people you don't agree with to just like eat a bunch of food together and
Mhm.
like I don't know, find something else to do and then slowly come to like certain agreements like before you get to like all the big heavy stuff.
Yeah,
Um
unfortunately, you have to like prove your humanity first.
it sucks. It
Yeah.
sucks. And it's
Oh,
an election year,
I
so it's
know. Don't
time for
even remind me.
dialoguing.
I don't want to dialogue. I don't want to talk to anybody. um, my dad is like a very he's a Democrat, but he's like a very conservative Democrat. And he was telling me the other day that he was like defending trans rights with one of our neighbors, and I was like, go off, king. Like, oh my gosh. I was so shocked. And he was like, yeah, like, because our neighbor was like, trans women shouldn't be in sports, yada yada yada. And my dad was like, who cares? Like, who cares about this at all, you idiot, you dummy. And I was like, truly like, oh my god, I was so blown away. And then immediately after, he was like, and whatever this non-binary is. And I was like, there's got to be a sprinkling of that classic dad in there.
Just a little bit of out of yeah, it gotta be a little out of touch. Can't be too hip
Absolutely.
with the youth.
My dad is like crazy about AI right now, and I'm like, oh my god. Just he was asking me when I was home how to get Chat GPT to like write an email for him, and I was like, girl, I don't know. Like, I don't use Chat GPT. Um and
Oh.
I was like walking him through how to use Google Gemini, which is like their version of Chat GPT. And he was like, well, how do I get it to write this email? And I was like, you have to give it information. And he was like, how? And I'm like, I don't know. Like, you have to copy paste it, I guess. Like, it's not gonna just automatically know what you're talking about. But he's so crazy about AI, and I'm like, oh my god. Oh my god. But apparently it's like AI is mostly like a boomer thing. Like, they're really crazy about it, and the young kids, the youths, don't care about it as much. They call it like boomer art and
Hmm.
stuff like that.
Isn't it? We could just wildly conjecture about articles we've read for the next like 40 minutes, I
So
guess.
funny.
But I was seeing that there's guy who some guy, I
Oh
think it
yeah,
was at
some guy.
Discord.
Mhm.
Um, they were doing some like presentation thing or like company wide like webinar or something, and the guy was talking about how AI art is potentially being designed to appeal to late 30s men, and that's the like demographic it's like trying to like provide affirmation to or like try and
Mhm.
like cater to.
Mhm.
And then it's like, well, what if we had different demographics that AI could cater to? And I was like, this is sick. This sucks. I hate it here.
Truly, I hate it here. Like, I saw this thing that was like people with AI or developing AI don't consider like if they should be doing this kind of thing. They're so wrapped up in like, can they? And I'm like, where are
Hmm.
the morals? Where are the ethics? I'm sick of this rodeo, this lawless land. I want some repercussions. But apparently like a bunch of big companies are suing OpenAI for training their models off of like their shit. And I'm like, good. Sue them to oblivion. Get rid of this shit. I'm tired of it. I'm sick of it. Um
I would
yeah,
love
go
if
on.
we became oh, if we became Christian fundamentalists because they were like, AI is of the devil, and all of a sudden everyone in like the art Instagram world was all of a
Mhm.
sudden like, okay, time to
It's the mark of the
time to get it.
beast. So funny.
Oh,
I was like, where is he going with this? Have you ever watched Pureflix? Like anything on Pureflix?
no, I don't have to seek it because that's what was shown to us in high school whenever we were watching movies.
Truly for you.
Like
I
they
have
would
like
just
such
like
yeah.
show us.
I have such a
Oh, they
different
would just like
experience with that.
yeah, they would just show us like edited movies with all of the swears out, and I remember in what was it? What's the not the Scarlet Letter, the hot Salem witch trials movie. Which one's
Mm.
that? The
I don't know, but I know what you're talking about.
not the Covenant, not the
One of
movie.
them
AI,
things.
tell me um what the heck? It's got Goody Proctor in it.
You're so funny. They all have
Oh,
Goody Proctor in it.
The Crucible. Okay.
Oh.
There's a sex scene in the Crucible, and that got taken out. And so then I saw the Crucible for the first time with it, and I was like, "Wow, wowie zowie! Never would have
That's so fun.
thought."
That's so cute. I like consume a lot of videos of other people consuming conservative Christian content because I don't even know. Because I'm a little freak. I'm a little freaky guy. Just a little FREAQUE, that kind of freak. Um and so I was watching someone watch a movie on Pureflix where they were like, oh, they're making us all get chips under our skin, and that's the mark of the beast. Like, the COVID vaccine is the mark of the beast because it puts the 5G chip in our arm or whatever. And I was like, good lord. And basically what happened in this movie is this they were like forced to get vaccines, but then one of the people was like a teenage girl and she was like, I hate God, like whatever, bleh. I'm gonna listen to My Chemical Romance. And the mom was like, okay, but when we get raptured, you're gonna get left behind. And then the next day, everybody got raptured but her, and she had to like survive in the wilderness and learn to appreciate God. And I thought that was so funny. I'm like, truly gonna leave this teen here where dangers lurk? She's a teenager. That's so crazy to me. I thought that was so funny. Um Not to turn this into a fundamental Christian podcast, but that's the kind of shit that I love to consume.
So I guess you answered the question. You fulfilled the
Oh yeah, my
the
trash.
requirement. Yeah, is that your trash, or do you have other trash?
Well,
Do you
I
have
have I
drag race opinions?
yes, I do have many drag race opinions. Um because I watched that video like 2 years ago, but it stays in my mind. Um but I've been watching a lot of Drag Race. A lot of Drag Race All Stars. I'm on the All Winners season and it's so wholesome. It's so sweet and so cute. I really like it. Um and it's made me learn that I'm a huge Trinity the Tuck fan. I'm such a fan of Trinity the Tuck. Um, I love her voice. It's so funny to me. It's just so good. It's just like got that southern drawl to it, and she's always laughing like "huh," and that's like so funny to me. I love it. I love it so much.
I love that. That's all it takes, just a huh,
Just a
a
"huh."
little huh, huh.
It's so funny.
I,
I'm an East Coast elite. We laugh like ha 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 ha, not like a huh.
I think she was in Boise. I think I saw her live one year.
Wow.
Oh, this would have been a long while ago if
Mhm.
it was in fact. Um, I feel like she was at Boise Pride. Um, but oh yeah, Drag Race star. Oh, comes out as trans non-binary. Wow,
Go
stars are
queen.
just like us.
Honestly, they're
Um,
just like us.
I think I saw her. Either that or it was Ms. Cracker or one of those that I told you all blend together
Yeah,
for me.
I love Miss Cracker. I'm a Miss Cracker fan. Um, I love these white creams, white white queens. They're like I have them in a little collection. I love them. Um, I also
Little
specifically
lotions and potions.
my lotions and potions. I love shit, I'm forgetting her name. She looks like Christina Aguilera. Famously, she fell during her burlesque thing. Do you know who I'm talking about? I've talked about her to you before. What the fuck is her
Not
name?
Jan, right?
No, I
No, no, no,
love
no.
Jan though. I'm such a Jan freak. I have such a crush on Jan. This is also a queen I have a crush on. Hold on. RuPaul's Drag
Oh,
Race.
Pheromone?
Yes, Pheromone. I love Pheromone. She's so pretty. I'm like, oh my god. Truly the dichotomy of like my sexual or romantic interests are like Pheromone on one side and then Jan on the other.
That's not a broad spectrum.
Exactly.
That's not a
Exactly. I like what I like.
Tinder bans you for being like hateful, for just being like, I just want,
That's so
just
funny.
give me your whitest drag queens. That's all I'm interested in. It's a profile to be
Like, oh, I was talking to my
nervous about.
family. I was talking to my step absolutely. And she was like, "Oh, I wouldn't think that there was because like they had to go through like, homophobia and stuff. I was like, they're still like, people. They still like live in society. It was so well meaning. It made me laugh so much.
Just oh boy. Oh boy. Well,
Truly
now
was
that we're
adorable.
all loosened up and just so open about each other and our lotions and potions,
Lotions and
uh
potions.
then my grandmother, potions is always like one of my favorite words for like any kind of ointment or cream, because that's what my grandmother would always call like
Aw,
skin so soft, or like lotion. She'd like put it on and be like, I'm putting on the potions.
that's so cute. Oh my gosh.
So yeah, I love the word potions for totally normal cosmetic things. But we are on round three, final round of the Aron questions. And if we don't fall in love and get married by the end of this, we die apparently. So
I mean, eventually. Not like immediately.
these are the questions to make you fall in love. Or like they're really questions designed to promote intimacy between different kinds of people, but
Hmm.
all the like self-help people do like to say these are the love questions.
That's so
I've now
funny.
become the annoying person where I've started like pulling these up when there's a dead space in the conversation. uh
That's so funny. That's so funny. You're like, let me get intimate real quick during this lull in conversation.
I was in like a Mexican food restaurant with a friend, and we were just like honking down burritos. Or no, it
Mhm.
was before we were honking down burritos. But it was still just like, all right, we're eating a bunch of chips. Let's get intimate.
That's so funny. Chips are the most intimate food.
You are sharing, when there's just that little bit of residue when you're eating from the chips going back
That's
and
so
forth.
funny.
Um All right, here we go. Round three. So this is question technically 25, I guess, but question one of round three. Uh, make three true we statements each. For each instance, uh, we are both in this room feeling. Oh, yeah,
Okay.
okay. So that is a for instance. That's an example. Okay, we are both in this room feeling. Okay, do we want to do this like three in a row each, or like one by one?
Yeah. We can do three in a row each.
Okay,
Give him a sixer.
okay. We are both on a computer. We are
Okay.
both wearing headphones. We are both chortling.
Chortling. We are both big gays. We are both wearing shirts. We are both cartoonists.
Just
What shirt
starts.
is that? My
Oh,
Hero
it's a My Hero.
Academia?
Yeah,
You're
it's a
so
nerd
funny.
shirt. I
You
don't wear
big
this.
nerd.
I don't wear this out of the house. I wear all my nerd shirts at home.
That's so funny. I'm wearing a Hanes plain green shirt.
So stripped down.
Utilitarian.
So utilitarian. Uh wait, your what was your last one? I was too caught up on the shirts. Where big gays were wearing shirts where.
Oh, we're cartoonists.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I guess I'm a cartoonist.
You're so
Guess I'll draw.
funny. If anybody was a cartoonist, you are a cartoonist.
I'm just a big cartoon. Um,
A big cartoon.
okay, number two. Ooh, yeah, these get more intimate very fast. Wait, I thought we already did some of these. One moment. One
Sure.
moment.
Take your time. I'll ramble to the audience while you do so. I took
Oh,
one
I guess
hell of a
these
nap.
are different. These
Oh
looked
yeah?
yeah, okay. All right, number 2. Complete this sentence. I wish I had someone with whom I could share ...
Mm, like romantic intimacy.
Oh,
Yeah.
romantic intimacy. Like butt snapping.
Butt snapping.
As
Yeah,
on.
butthole snapping. Perhaps a sandwich. Butthole snapping, sandwiches, chip-based intimacy.
Yeah, cuddles.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's see. Yeah, let's see. I put my first thing that came to mind was I wish I had someone with whom I could share pie.
You're so
Um,
funny.
but also, I don't want to share pie. I want to eat the pie. Um,
That's so fun. What flavor?
uh, like a blackberry, a mixed
Ooh,
berry, probably, or
good
a
choice.
blueberry. Something in the berry family. I like when it soaks in enough that the crust gets that little bit of a
Ooh,
slick to it.
yeah.
Uh, not as big on the apple. But I don't want to share my pie, so I should make a true statement. Wish I had someone with whom I could share my chores.
Your
My
chores.
I've been thinking about this a lot lately. Like, do I
Mm-hmm.
really want someone I can share things with? Or do I
Mm,
just want like someone to do my chores?
so funny. You're a
Um,
Whoopi Goldberg.
oh, you know what? I wish I had someone with whom I could share my video game controller when the games get too hard and reflex
Mm,
based.
mm. I
That's
always
a
make
true
my brother
statement.
do that. My brother is my reflex-based video game partner.
I'm playing Neon White right now, and
Mm-hmm.
it's so hard. It's stupid.
So
Um,
funny.
and I tend to not like reflex, like quick rapid fire games, but this one, I want to beat it. I want to do it. I want to beat it. And I want to get all the little presents. And that's
Ooh.
really hard.
Mm.
All right. Question number 3. If you were going to become a close friend with your partner, please share what would be important for him or her or them to know.
Ooh.
Didn't add the them back in 1998. Very
So
problematic.
funny. I'm trying to think. I guess that truly I'm like, cause I'm a little freak. I like weird shit. I like I like my very strange things, and I will share them with you.
Just bringing them to the door
Pretty
like a
much.
cat with a mouse.
Pretty much. That's how it goes. Whether you want it or not, I'm just bringing you weird fucking shit.
Hmm. I think I please share what would be important for them to know. Probably like the closer they get, the colder I can get.
Oh.
Um, that sounds so dark. But I won't put on as much of an act with them. I
Mm.
guess the closer they get, like that's I think the certain point where like when people come to know like certain members of my family closer, they're like, "Oh, you're not like that all the time," and we're like, "No, we're not. We need our TV time
Mm.
when we don't want to talk to anyone." So,
Okay, that's fair. I feel like a lot of people feel like that, like having to put on airs to like keep everybody around them happy, and then it's like, who am I when I am alone? If these walls could talk, who what would they say?
they would say he likes to lie down. That's what the
He likes
walls
to
would
lie
say
down.
about me.
Oh, me too. Oh my gosh, me too.
Let's see. Tell your partner what you like about them. Be very honest
Aw.
this time, saying things that you might not say to someone you've just met. Oh.
I like your eyes. You got good eyes. They're really nice. They're really pretty. What else? You've got a good shaped head. I've been thinking about that like the past 2 episodes. I'm like, that's like a very like normal shape. I always feel like my head is too small. And I'm like, or Van has like a good like what's the word? Like not percentageable. Fucking when everything is like lined up correctly.
Oh
You know what I'm trying to
no.
say?
Proportional?
Yeah, proportional.
Are you doing what's the bad thing with heads that they used to do in olden times
The
to
drawing
like
thing.
no, the where they would judge people by their head shape and that
Oh,
was their
oh,
personality?
so funny. Like it's not like phrenological, something like that. Phrenology.
Oh, phrenology. Yeah.
Yeah. No, because that's
Well,
racist.
I like your well-proportioned white head. That's what you would come up to a drag queen and say. That's what I'm worried about. That you're just
So
gonna
funny. No. I like
walk up to
drag
these
queens
blonde
because they have
queens.
big hair and they're cool they're queens of proportionizing. And I am very much like my hair has to be big or else everyone will know of my small head.
Let's see. Trying to think about things that I would say that are like deeper than surface level. Like if I just met you,
Mm.
would I say I like the way you bop?
Bah.
You just bop.
I
You
love
kind of
it.
bop around.
It's true, I do.
And I just like when I met you in person, I was like, this person bops. Not everyone bops.
That's very funny. That's what my mom says, so I'm very touched.
I think, yeah, I wouldn't say that to someone I just met where I was like, I like the way you move around
I flit
in
about.
this world. um I feel like we already shared an embarrassing moment from our life. That was the one that got me. I
Oh.
don't know.
I'll
Did
share
we?
another
I feel
one.
like go for it. Just keep
Um
going.
I was on a date with my like big ex and I fucking threw up in the middle of the date, like all over the table because I was so nervous. It was awful.
That's wild.
She was so nice about it though. She like paid and was like, "Are you okay?" and was like really nice to me in the bathroom and stuff. Where I was like freaking out because I had just thrown up everywhere. And she let me like go to the car first and stuff because I had driven us there. And I was like, "Oh my god, I have to legally die now because I just fucking threw up in the middle of our date." But she was really cool about it.
So I let's see. I'm trying to think an embarrassing moment in your life. So the one that comes to mind, I don't know if this is really embarrassing, but I just like
Mm-hmm.
thought it was so surreal and I didn't like that people were perceiving me in this way as I was at like this really like weird point. It was the night Trump was he inaugurated? The
Mm-hmm.
election was over. He was inaugurated. We prepared this beverage we called Trump Punch, which was of my own design. Where I was like, we're just going, like, this country's going to hell. We are sending our bodies to hell, and we're going to do it
Mm-hmm.
with the trashiest American products possible. So I got two Mike's Hards, poured them in a
Mm-hmm.
punch bowl, got two for Locos, poured them in a
Hell yeah.
punch bowl, in the punch bowl, And then we added vodka. Um,
You
it
were
went
like
down.
truly trying to die.
It went down so smooth. And at that time, I was hanging out with these two straight guys who
Mm-hmm.
are both like into politics. And the thing I forget about straight guys is they'll just invite girls over. And like, I forget that this is a thing about straight guys, is they're like, let's invite some girls over. And so these girls, these young women who worked at like they worked at Dutch Bros, which is a detail I knew you'd like.
I
Um,
love Dutch Bros. A
they
place I've
were
never been.
broistas.
Broistas.
There was two young lady broistas, and this would have been so I would have been like old enough that it felt weird that I was hanging out with them, and I
Mm-hmm.
was just it's the drunkest I've ever been in my life. Like Trump
Mm.
punch destroyed me.
No.
And I don't remember anything besides me just being like, thank you for being here. Like I think I was overly nice.
Uh-huh.
But the worst part of it is I can't remember who they were. So I don't know which broistas rolled up to the function to hang out with these straight guys
Mm-hmm.
and drink. I don't think they were drinking what we were drinking, which is good because I am glad their bodies are fine. But yeah, it was an embarrassing moment of being like, I'm already gone, and I can't be a good host to you right now.
So funny. Two sheets to the wind.
Um, I'm sure I have more embarrassing tales, but that was the one that popped to mind.
Mm. I get that. Truly blacking out is the worst because you just don't know.
I think
Um,
blacking out as a host is, I think, the most embarrassing part of that, where it's like,
yeah,
oh, I'm not in control. Like,
the little demon inside you is out demoning around.
uh, ooh, this one's a little brutal. When did you last cry in front of another person, slash by yourself?
Mm, like physically in front of another person, or can it be on the phone?
Go with your heart.
Like a couple weeks ago, before I went back to ooh, I have hiccups. Back to Maryland, I was like super homesick. So I called my parents and I was like talking to them and they were like, "Are you okay? You sound really sad." And I started crying cuz I was like, "I hate Massachusetts. It's just such a mean place." Even though like all my
Oh,
are the nicest people I've ever met. Everybody is so sweet to me. Um, I don't know what is wrong with me. I'm just like, Massachusetts is too hard for my fragile East Coast. Like, even though it's on the East Coast, I don't know what is happening here, but it was too much.
hmm. I'm trying to think. I cry a lot during movies. So I
Mm-hmm.
have a feeling it was during a movie in both instances where I just get the emotions through the power of art. Otherwise I don't tend to cry just in general. I
Mm-hmm.
don't get very weepy. Um well, I was at a funeral a while back. I think I teared
That's
up a
an
little
appropriate
then.
place.
Me just being
If you're
like, I think I cried at that funeral. I
if
hope I
you're if
did.
you're at any place to cry, like that is a pretty good place. Pretty
Oh,
good.
I did. I had a little moment
Mhm.
where I almost did the tears, where I was looking at a picture of my grandma on the fridge,
Mhm.
and I was just like, I wish she was here.
Mhm.
It was just one of those little like, ooh, the feelings
Yeah,
got me out of the blue. No warning.
that's how feelings work. Oh, first yawn of the evening. Um, Before my phone call to my parents, the last time I cried was when I got dumped. So, and that was like 4 years ago. So there was a like long. I'm not a big crier either. Like,
Hmm.
I try to. I'm always dehydrated, so I'm trying to save up my tears.
I'm trying to get back into the crying end of the spectrum rather than the mad end of the spectrum because I think that's where I am right now
Mm-hmm.
in like knee jerk negative responses. And maybe that's not a good thing for
Mm.
my long term health, where I just get real fiery real fast. So,
I think it's tough because like it's hard to judge what is the appropriate, at least it is for me, what is the appropriate reaction. I know like, oh, with being homesick, like am I mad that I can't adjust to this new environment, or am I sad that I can't adjust to this new environment?
mhm. Because what is it? Anger is the result of wanting something to change but not having the ability to change it or something like that.
Mhm.
I think
Mhm.
that's the psychological answer or whatever. I think this next one is this is like if you were total strangers and you were doing this. But tell your
Okay.
partner something that you like about them already.
You wear
I feel
silly
like we like
shirts.
a lot of things about each other.
It's true. I'm like, that shirt. I don't know anything about My Hero Academia except for I got commissioned one time to do a cover of a fan fiction. That was like My Hero Academia slash A Court of Thorn and Roses. And I thought that was really funny. It was very sweet. I thought it was really cute, but I also was like, this is one hell of a mashup.
This is not my wheelhouse, but here I am just rolling
Right?
in.
Hey, I'm like, look, hey, I'm happy to do it, but I don't know why you picked me for this.
I need to just take a time out and learn what's the definition of a wheelhouse. Because
I
I
oh yeah, I don't know.
I don't know an area of someone's skill or expertise. Yeah, but why do we it was right in his wheelhouse. Oh, the section of the strike zone where it's easiest for the batter to hit. Where did that come
Okay,
from?
some
A pilot
dumb
house
sports thing.
is um this is wild. Oh, I guess it comes from the Navy because a wheelhouse was
Okay,
where the wheel was on a boat or whatever.
that's so funny.
What a wild string of connections to make between one thing and the other. So
That's
just
sayings
right
for
in
you.
my little boat room.
I love boats, so I'm a fan. I'll allow it.
Let's see. Something I like about you already. I'm trying to go back in time to like when I first met you on the internet. You made gay cartoons. And I liked
I
that
did.
because I liked making gay cartoons.
I always think about your Tower of Babel comic. I think that was like one of the best comics I've ever read.
Whoa! We gotta get you reading more comics, kid.
You're so funny. The other like I don't want to. I like that comic so much, but then my other favorite comic is, let me see if I can find it. Is like a Star Fox fucking like romance comic, a Star Fox at X Valco that like. I'll send it to you. Um, it's by Barroo. It came out in 2016, and I think of it all the time. It's the most like emotional
Oh, I
romantic
remember
comic
that
I've
one.
ever come across it. Yeah. I think about that thing all the time. I'd be thinking about it.
I was, I was thinking about from back in the day, and
Mhm.
I had a little bit of a oopsie moment because this person goes by a much different name now
Okay.
than when we were in college. But Max Schwartz, who did the art for Heaven Will Be Mine and We Know the Devil. Um,
Okay.
I was thinking about Strawberries. Do you remember that zine? I know
No.
because Max Schwartz was around when you were at SVA, right? Or maybe had just graduated.
I think they must have just graduated.
Anyway, I saw that Strawberries comic pop up again, and I was like, man, I loved that comic. It was all
Mm.
risographed when
Oh,
risographs were new.
I love a good Rizzo.
Oh, number 8. What if anything is too serious to be joked about? This is a risky one. This
I
is a
know. I don't like it when comedians punch down. So I feel like isms and ick things aren't like great to joke about unless you are part of that community and you handle it with some gravitas. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Is that too
Yeah, I think there's
non-specific?
certain I don't like bad things. I don't like when things are bad.
Exactly.
um
Exactly.
no, I think there's definitely like yeah, just trying to think if South Park's ever really offended me for a joke now.
Yeah.
But no, I think it's more. I think it's context a lot. And there's certain things like you shouldn't joke about with certain people.
Yeah.
Um, and I think when people set boundaries with you about like what they're okay with people casually joking about, it's
Mm-hmm.
if you know you're like off the deep end on something, it's like, oh yeah, like let me reel it back. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
It makes me think about Matt Rife and his like special where he jokes about like abuse.
Mm-hmm.
And I think like if it is again like with the isms and the icks, if it's not your experience, then I don't think it is funny or okay to joke about.
Yeah, I think it's also the last season of Hacks has been really because Deborah Vance, the like main character, she has all of these old jokes get like resuscitated into like a series of clips, like a clip compilation that's going around to be like, yeah, she was super racist, and yeah, she was all these things, and it and she kind of like defensively like tries to come back from that and be like, everyone was doing that at that time, and the one character, her kind of like moral compass is like, yeah, but you wouldn't say those things now. And you
Mm-hmm.
knew they were lazy then. They were just like things everyone was saying to get a cheap laugh.
Yeah.
Um,
Interesting. Yeah, I like truly I very much believe in second chances. But I also believe in when people show you who they are, believe them. But I mostly tend to lean more second chances because I am a hopeful, dumb idiot who's dumb and doesn't learn from like experience. Um, because like I think even though it has not been my personal experience, not to brag, but my social media history is pretty clear. Uh, but I think that's also because I'm like a black queer person, so I am very like, what am I gonna say? You know what I mean? Like, I already know like that kind of repercussion of
Mhm.
how, like, I know how that feels. So there's no desire for me to say that kind of thing. Um, but what the hell was I saying? I don't know. Yada yada yada. The long and the short of it is that I think, people grow and change. And if they show you that they have grown and changed, especially coming from like the 2000s and like bad humor, then I tend to give people a second shot.
Yeah. I and also some of the funniest things I've ever heard from people were in the most like wicked grim situations.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and I'm a terrible funeral jokester.
That's so
Like
funny.
I will say I I am one of those people who will speak ill of the dead.
Mm-hmm.
um, as, like if I think it is genuinely funny and I think the other person would appreciate the joke. Um, where yeah, there was one time where someone had died and I wasn't at like the funeral or anything, but I saw a quote from the like someone was talking about the person in memory and they said something
Mm-hmm.
like he was the kind of guy who would give you the shirt off of his back, and I like turned to the person next to me and I was like, he literally didn't give me a shirt one time.
That's
Like
so funny.
he was passing out like shirts at an event and he wouldn't
Uh-huh.
give me one. I was like,
That's really
so
funny. I feel like those
but
kinds of jokes are very like appropriate,
yeah.
in my humble, never to be humble opinion.
Oh, this one's brutal.
What is it?
Number 9. If you were to die this evening with no opportunity to communicate with anyone, what would you most regret not having told someone? Why haven't you told yet? Wow.
I
That's a lot.
don't, not to like brag, not to brag, but I don't have really any. I'm pretty like not off the cuff. I wear my heart on my sleeve. Like, I I have told my loved ones I love them. Um I have told my hate ones I hate them. If I were
Wait,
to
what?
die this evening, yeah, my hate ones, they know I hate them. If they don't know, they should know because I make comics about it. That's how much I hate them. Um, but yeah, I don't know. If I were, I would feel bad because, well, I don't. I yeah, there's nothing I would want to say.
Mm,
I mean, there are plenty of things I would want to say, but there's nothing that I would regret not saying.
yeah. I think there is a few people where I would definitely want to tell them I'm sad that we have lost touch or that we've
Mhm.
lost connection, but it's awkward to bring that up and say like that I'm bummed out about that. If that makes
Yeah.
any sense. Like I think I struggle when someone has like maybe cut off a connection to like do that outreach and say, you know,
Mm.
that
I'm
that I'm bummed about it.
I am very much the kind of person who like will reach out on a whim to people. Um like, I my middle school friends and my elementary school friends, I don't talk to all the time, but if I'm thinking about them, I will text them. Um but I think that's just because I that's not something that makes me nervous, cuz I'm like very like, oh, if I were in that position, I would like to know.
Hmm. See.
Not to be like,
That's
Van, you fucking loser. You can't talk to people.
I just have so many people to talk to.
You're very
I'm just so
popular.
overwhelmed. Oh, not popular. Just
You're so funny.
number 10. Okay, this is a classic. I have a feeling
Mhm.
everyone plagiarized this question if it didn't already exist
Mhm.
in this little quiz. Your house containing everything you own catches fire. After saving your loved ones and pets, you have time to safely make a final dash to save any one item. What would it be and why?
I have a cigar box full of every letter that has been given to me that is kind, and I have letters dating back to like elementary school, and that I at first I was like, before you said pets and stuff, I'm like, obviously my dog, but that is the second thing I would go and get. And then if I if somehow I had a third, or if I had like, that's the first thing. If I had a second thing, I have when I was manic one time, I made a bunch of scrapbooks of my own life, and I would get those because they took a lot of work.
I like that. You would have a record of your living.
Hmm.
I was stupidly practical, and my and I was like, I'm gonna get my passport.
That's so
So
funny.
because I can pretty much reverse any ID things with my passport. Um,
That's so
and
funny.
it would be a pain to get a new driver's license, but I think I could get a driver's license with my passport. And I could verify my identity and get all this other crap with my passport. And what if we're at war? I need to go to Canada. I need my passport.
A war. I don't have a passport, so that's not. That's just, yeah. I'm I'm a fucking loser. I don't have my passport.
this is this is a thing I think with like people who have families with like stronger ties to other countries or like immigrant families where
Hmm.
there is definitely an attitude of like you need a passport in case there's a war. like
Interesting. Yeah.
like in case you got to go, you need a passport.
So funny. My family's been here for hundreds of years, so I'm like, the last war that they were involved in was here. So where are we gonna go? Um
Well,
Also, I'm afraid of flying. I hate flying. It makes me so nervous. Well, that's not true. I hate airports. They make me incredibly nervous. Flying itself is totally fine, except I hate flying the Logan, Boston Logan, because you descend over like water, and I'm like, we're
mm,
gonna fucking crash.
it's probably safer to crash into the water than to crash on land.
I guess so, but I was really stressed because I was like, how am I gonna get my dog out of here?
Little did you know that you were flying with Captain Sully Solenberger.
So funny. Wasn't it found out that he was like drunk or something like that?
What?
Yeah, I think so.
No,
Not to sully his name.
not to Sully Solenberger.
Yeah,
Wait, Captain Sully. We have to find this out live on the air.
on the
Um,
air.
was no, it was Bird Strike. Like
I don't know who the hell that is.
no, like it was. They were hit by birds.
Oh, Bird Strike. I was like, who's Burn Strike? Hold on.
He. I can't believe you would go and sully Captain Sully's good name.
No,
Um,
it was a real thing. I found an NPR article. Oh wait, just kidding. This is a different guy. I, that's so
just
funny.
going for Captain Sully.
No offense to
Just
him.
it would be terrible to find out. His personal life section is thankfully very um
Sparse.
yeah, sparse. That's normally a good sign with someone who's famous for a single incident, largely famous for a single incident.
Mm-hmm. Sorry,
Oh,
Sully Sullivan, to sully your
he
name.
also doesn't like Donald Trump, so there we
Hell
go.
yeah. Icon. King.
Go off, Captain Sully.
Sorry if you can hear my dog in the background. He's having a dream.
Aw, little Jakey dream.
My
Okay.
son.
This one's brutal. This one's a little tough. Of all the people in your family, whose death would you find most disturbing and why?
I think my baby brother, because he is my baby. And then all of my family combined. I love them so much.
I have a few kids in my family. I think the kids would be I think children is always less because it's like, oh, you have a lot ahead of you.
Yeah,
Whereas
exactly.
the adults, it's just like, okay, you did some stuff. Then I think the further along you get, it's kind of like, oh yeah, you did more stuff. Like
Yeah.
you did what you came to do. Um,
I don't know. I'm a big softie. I know when my parents pass away, I'm going to be fucking devastated. I know when my dog
mm,
passes away, I'm going to be devastated. Um it's going to be brutal. And I know that about myself. But my brother, we're only 3 years apart, but he's like my baby. So I'm like, that's my son.
oh, I didn't like that question.
Me neither.
Okay, this is I gotta make sure I don't get too revealing here.
Mhm. What is it like?
Share
What's your
a
SSN?
no, share a personal problem and ask your partner's advice on how he or she might handle it. Also, ask your partner to reflect back to you how you seem to be feeling about the problem you have chosen.
Mm, I'm like, girl, I don't know. I've got tons of problems. Um,
Where do we want to start?
honestly, I'm like, ugh. I don't like where I live, and there's nothing I can do about it for a year. What is your advice?
Is it like location? Is
No,
it like
like I live in a beautiful neighborhood in a nice apartment, and Massachusetts is very beautiful and it's very nice, but nobody says hi to me and that drives me insane.
hmm,
And it's just not got the like, even in New York, people would give me a head nod, you know what I mean?
hmm,
Um but that lack of like connection makes me feel very lonely here.
hmm. You know what my answer is going to be.
Make a friend.
Take a class.
Take a
Gotta take a
class.
class.
Oh my
Take
god.
a little pottery class. Take a little take a pickleball class.
No, pickleball is so crazy here. I'm like, get this shit away from me.
This I say lean into that.
Lean in.
Lean in. You just gotta say, you know what? I'm gonna make sure that this isn't right for me. I'm gonna do one class with a hot old pickleball instructor of any gender. They're all
That's
like
so funny.
retired PE teachers
PE
that will
teachers.
tell you you're not moving your hips enough and do a little class or do because we didn't have ceramics at my school at my college of higher education. I think do a ceramics class.
That's so funny. Ceramics have been the hot thing on Instagram.
Oh, have they?
Yeah. Everybody's making cups and they're really cute.
Oh,
Yeah, maybe I
Yeah,
will
do a
take a
ceramics
ceramics
class.
class to capitalize on Instagram.
Or yeah, and recreate the Potter's wheel thing from Ghost.
Ghost,
Do that.
so funny. With a ghost, where am I gonna find one?
I mean, you're in Massachusetts.
I'm
Aren't there
gonna
a lot
have
of
like
ghosts?
some fucking Revolutionary War motherfucker like behind me, like I hate black people. You should be a slave.
Oh no! Oh no!
I'm like, okay, will you do the pottery?
Help me with my cup.
Honestly, I'm
Um,
like, I'm trying to make a bunny cup. Can you help me? He's like, all black people should be slaves. I'm like, okay. Is that a yes or no?
dressed up like he just came back from the Boston Tea Party, and you're just like, I can't. This is too racist
Exactly.
for me. I
It's
can't
either
deal with your attire.
right. Hopefully, it would be Crispus Attucks, who's the first person to die in the Revolutionary War and happened to be black. So I'm like, oh yeah. But then he'd probably be misogynist and be like, "Hark, thine woman, thee should be in the kitchen," and I'm like, I'm trying to make a cup.
You can literally just respond, your name is Crispus Attucks, buddy.
Honestly, old Crispus, is that really his name? Am I right about that? Hold on.
Wait, I was accepting that as fact.
Yeah, it is Crispus Attucks. Okay, good.
Um,
My fifth grade history education didn't fail me.
yeah, that's great. I'm glad you remember a figure I never would have um gotten. You know what I was thinking about? Totally. Well, I'll have a problem here eventually.
Hmm.
But for the amount I learned about Paul Revere, like, did he really do that much? Like, he just rode around and told everybody to wake up. Uh,
Honestly,
like,
I could do that.
I feel like it's cool. He rode really hard on his horse. He had buddies, but like, I feel like we learned a lot about Paul Revere.
I
Um,
didn't retain any of it besides that he like ran around or horsed around.
and then also Benedict Arnold. I was thinking about Benedict Arnold, and I was like, what a niche historical figure to teach children to hate.
So funny.
Like,
I don't know dick or balls about Benedict Arnold. It must have been like a class I missed because I've never learned about him.
he betrayed us. I don't know why we all need to hate him as much as we do, but um maybe they should have taught kids to hate Hitler more. Um
Yeah.
unless I don't know. There's
Told us
other
less
people to
about his
hate.
art degree.
Uh, better painter than Winston Churchill. I always say that.
That's so
If
funny.
World War II was an art fight, I think Hitler would have won against Winston Churchill.
If only we were so lucky.
Wait,
What?
that would have meant Hitler won.
No, if only. Wait, shit. But if it was just an art fight and there were no stakes.
You're just like, all right,
Oh man.
Europe's
You know what I
Europe's going to
mean.
the Nazis.
No. I don't know, man. Today has been so head empty. I'm just saying things.
Uh, all right. Well,
What's your problem?
man,
What's your issue?
what's my issue? Um, let's see. I'm trying to think. So many problems. I have a problem, but I already have a solution. Where, um, I think I thought it would be helpful for me to take like my regular medication in the evenings before I went to sleep, but
Hmm.
I don't think it's working any different. And I think it's just making me more anxious towards the end of the day. So
Oh.
I think I just gotta take it in the morning again. So that's a very that's a problem I know I have a solution to. I have work drama, but I don't want to air that out on a podcast.
Mm-hmm.
I have deadline drama, but I think all of my problems have an easy solution, which is just get your shit together. Maybe that's my problem, is I think my shit will magically get together.
Honestly, that's all of us. If only, if truly, if only we were so lucky. That's where I can apply it.
I'm, oh, man, I don't want to air
You don't have
any of
to.
my
We can skip it.
hottest dramas. What do you do? No. Okay, let's just do this one because it's chill. What do you? It's really hot here. What do you do when it's really hot? What's your go-to thing to cool down?
Turn on the AC. That's what I've been doing, man.
I
Or
thought
go
I was gonna
swimming.
give the listeners. Yeah, I want to go swimming.
There's a pool at my sister's place, so I have been
Mm,
swimming on the weekends.
yeah,
Can
baby.
I stop hiccuping? Is that legal? I stopped, so apparently it is.
It's legal
Oh,
now.
it's back.
Joe Biden's executive ordering hiccuping. Then the Supreme Court's just cutting him off.
I get the hiccups so often. Honestly, that should have been my problem. I get the hiccups like 3 times a day.
That means you're like eating air too fast, right? Like you're just gulping air.
Something like that. But I like eat so. I'm on one of those weight loss medications, and so now I eat so infrequently. I'm like, how is this happening to me?
Mm, mm. Your poor little hiccupses.
I hate it. Veronica got me a straw to drink water from for when I have the hiccups, but it's so complicated. Half the time I forget to do it, but it works.
Wait, how is the straw complicated?
You have to like breathe a certain way and then drink water and then hold it and then release it and all this stuff. I'm like,
Hick
I'll just
away.
have the hiccups.
Hick away.
Hmm.
That's I don't like that word.
So, oh, so funny. Like it's sending
It's
away
like
country people.
oh, like I don't know. It just doesn't sound good.
Mm.
Um, but you know what sounds good now that we've wrapped up all of our questions? This podcast. So thank you for listening to Your Trash Pals. You can follow this podcast on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Bumble, Tinder, Grinder, Sniffies. Oh, what if I made
Sniffies.
a Grinder? What if I made a Grinder profile for our podcast? That would be delightful.
You're so funny.
Um,
More leg
uh,
picks.
for leg pics, send us your hottest leg pics. I wouldn't mind seeing that. But our live Twitch streams are hosted on Mondays usually, unless we gotta switch to a Tuesday.
Hmm.
And episodes go up on Fridays, unless we have to post them on a Sunday.
Yeah. Sorry, it's my turn now, and I was like, oh. You can follow me at ren.psd, and you can follow Vannotes on Instagram at vannotesbooks. You can support our Ko-fi at ko-fi.com/your trash files.
You can write into the podcast at yourtrashpals@gmail.com and tell us all sorts of stories about taking leg pics. We love a
Yeah.
leg pic, as you learned on our last episode. Or you can just ask us fun, sassy questions. You can also just send those to our DMs, and we'll make sure that we add them into our episode.
Hmm.
Um, we will definitely talk about it on the podcast because we need some questions. And I think it's my turn. It says in the script it's your turn, but that's because I copied it from an off week. So I
Mhm.
think it's my turn. And for a
Okay.
fun advertisement from one of our many incredible sponsors who definitely sponsor this show, and who are definitely not trash. So I will pick a number in between 1 and 50, and I'm going to go with 38.
38. Okie dokie. That is blank. So come up with another number.
39.
Okay. Drive through soda establishments, which I don't understand what that is.
Oh, I know exactly what this is in reference to. So do you live in an area that's predominantly populated by people who couldn't drink soda until a few years ago when all of a sudden they were suddenly given permission to drink soda? Well, come on through one of these drive-through establishments where they now go to get just absolutely buzzed on soda in big old big gulp drinks, 32 ounces of soda infused with syrups and special flavorings and special weird sodas and gummy worms and peach rings, and just toss
Gummy
them all into
worms.
your sody pop and with a bunch of scissors and just gulp it on down, all while you're driving around in your big SUV. Burn that gas, get some diesel, get a car that burns diesel. Really just chug a lug on that diesel. Or get a Tesla and just destroy the world through cobalt too. Destroy the world any way you want in a car and enjoy your soda you got from a drive-through establishment.
Oh,
And
wait,
on that
before we
note,
sign off,
oh yeah.
what? I'm so confused. Where is this place where you can't have soda?
So in the Mountain West, we have a high percentage of people from the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, and the
Uh-huh.
church didn't condone soda for a long, long time. The church now allows us to drink soda in certain amounts or whatever. I can't remember the stipulations, but they can drink soda now. And so
Um,
members of that church have gone buck wild in recent years with drive-through soda places. So this is a very regional phenomenon. So I'm
okay,
glad that I
okay.
was the one to take it.
Yeah. Okay, thank you for explaining.
I'm sure all the local listeners here know exactly what I'm talking about. It's kind of like if you told people like you can't have carrots for their entire life, and then all of a sudden carrots were like suddenly okay, and then there was just all these carrot juice places that like popped up out of nowhere, and people were
Mhm.
just like gulping down carrots. So
That's so funny.
anyway.
Anyway,
On that note, remember to
to
reduce,
reduce,
reuse,
reuse,
and
and
recycle.
recycle.
Yay!
Yay!